going? Today I have a video, unboxing video for you today, which is a really cool part that I actually haven't seen ran on any car, any race car in the drifting community. I'm sure there's somebody that's running them, but I haven't seen it, so I'm actually really excited about it. It is very unique and it's pretty cool. So this is actually called a water pressure gauge that I ordered here, and it claims to be able to pretty much alert the driver before catastrophic engine damage occurs. The gauge shows water pressure in the system and shows leaking of a head gasket and putting compression into the coolant, which is really interesting because in theory this can pre-warn you about a blown head gasket, which is pretty common because when you're drifting a 2J, it actually really works the car pretty hard and runs the engine really hot all the time. I don't have a rear mount radiator like a lot of the pros do right now, so I a lot of times I have to go through cool down laps. I can get about 3 laps consistently. Needless to say, before it gets to about 240 degrees. So, needless to say, this should be a very fun, pretty interesting part. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I've actually cut the top off already of it, and there it is. So this is QuickCar. So this company makes a lot of sprint car stuff for sprint cars, circle track cars. It's based in Tennessee, and they make pretty cool gauges. I actually haven't used their product before, so hopefully it's good. As you can see here on the gauge itself, it has a warning light with it, and it says right here 4 psi. So 4 psi, I guess it'll give you a warning. I guess if you're running the engine pretty warm, 4 psi is probably too low anyway. My radiator cap spring is currently 1.3 bar, so I think that's around 16 psi if I can remember the conversion in my head. So that should, when I'm running the car, it should say 16 psi, and then if something blows up, something comes off, it'll immediately drop down, the light will come on, and I will be able to see it. Also, if I have a blown head gasket, it can also go up past 16, and I can see that, oh boy, I'm actually putting boost into the coolant system, aka blown head gasket. So this is really cool and can teach you, hopefully give me a little bit more feedback of what's going on with my coolant system. I'm going to go ahead and pop this open right here. I'm going to go ahead and pop this open right here. Boom. Let's see what else I can see in here. That's really cool. Pop this gauge out here. Alright. You can see it has a nice ground lead here to go to the backlit display. Assuming, yeah, so it's just a regular light bulb. Probably convert that to LED. Just because for brightness, longevity purposes. I do like this style mount. It clamps on real well, real nice. This is a 52 millimeter size, so hopefully that'll be pretty good. I'm running a 3 gauge pod, and this is going to be on a 3 gauge pod, so this might actually affect the other gauges that I intend to have. Voltmeter, which believe it or not is a thing. Because sometimes I run a lot of fans and a bunch of other accessories, so it's important to make sure that the volts are good. Anyway, so I'm running this also with an oil temperature gauge. So the oil temperature gauge that I plan to run will go right next to it, and I'll actually have a voltage gauge right next to it. So, other than that, this is looks pretty simple to wire up. I guess they give you a nice little mount. I like the quality of these wires. That's one thing that's really nice. You just don't see this type of stuff. This is real hardcore industrial like racing stuff that I don't know if you're starting to see anymore, because everything is all more refined in my opinion, using smaller wires and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. Like this is like a nice light right here. You can probably it just has these little connectors. You can just pull these off. You can wire this however you want. So, well, I guess that's pretty much it. It has thread in here, so you can just thread it in. This is a mechanical gauge, so you're going to have to run coolant inside the car, which I was concerned at first, but then I realized the heater core runs inside the car. So you'd probably just tee it off the heater core line. Hopefully that will read a good enough reading with enough PSI. What's really cool is you can actually see when all the coolant is really warmed up too. It just gives you more feedback, and the more information you know, the better you can run the car, and the more reliable it potentially can be. So I'm really excited to install this part, and I'll create a video following up and seeing how it runs, and I'm sure I'll show it running in the car. So please like and subscribe so you can see when that video comes out. Thank you. Have a good day.